Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another lunchtime lesson. Today's lesson is going to be a little different because I just have some things on my mind. It's not a rant, but I guess it's rant like. Um, and want to get into talking about being set apart when you walk differently because you're walking with the Lord, how you don't fit in with the circles at work or the circles maybe even in your family, and how that impacts you and how do you handle that on just a very practical everyday level. And then just want to talk about just some of the things that I see going on in society and with women in general, and just kind of talking out loud and wondering, like, how did we get to where we are? So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So I'm a teacher and in an elementary school. And recently, last Friday, we had a teacher in service day to decorate the school for the students. And when you're in your regular school day from 8 to 3 or whatever, people carry themselves one way. The teachers carry themselves one way. You can still get a glimpse into their personalities and what they're like outside of work because of things they'll say, or you can just tell certain attitudes that they might have, or what have you. But I was just like, I don't know why. I shouldn't be shocked. But I was kind of taken aback a little bit at this teacher in service day. The way, when I tell you, probably every teacher except maybe one other person, myself and one other person, from the minute that we walked in the door, everything is the F bomb. It's constant cursing. It's conversation about, you know, inappropriate things, or things that, like, why are we even talking about this? Sexual conversation. We were getting off that day at 2:30 in the afternoon, and everybody was meeting at the bar for the Christmas party. And I just thought to myself, how did we get here as women? you know um it was kind of funny, in a sense, kind of awkward, and then I decided in my mind that I was going to embrace it, because when I'm in their presence, sometimes they'll apologize for their language. They say, "Oh, sorry, Miss Brown." So, and I'm thinking to myself, so they they see something different about how I carry myself in, between 8 and 3. And one teacher, she asked me, "Are you coming to the Christmas party?" And I was like, probably not. They were like, "No, come on, Miss Brown. We're gonna make you party. We're gonna get Miss Brown to break down and party." And I just thought to myself, in a sense, it was a little awkward because, they see me as somebody who doesn't live that life, doesn't do those things. But then I thought to myself, I should embrace that, because if I call myself a Christian and they didn't see anything different about me, then that would be more problematic than them seeing that I'm different and me kind of being kind of on the outs of the conversation that was going on that day. I was kind of on the outskirts of the activities, because I wasn't hanging at the bar, I wasn't participating in the conversation, I'm not cursing like a sailor. But in that, there's, obviously at times when we're in those situations, we're going to sometimes feel awkward, or maybe, not quite sure how to handle that. But I decided to myself that I was just going to embrace that and count it as a positive, that they see that there's just something different about her. Because I'm just normally a very private person, so I don't really talk a whole lot about my private life at school, and or what I do for fun and enjoyment. Obviously, what they do for fun and enjoyment is going to the bar, drinking, being loud and rowdy, and there's a time and place to laugh and have fun and be boisterous and things like that. But obviously, the context for where I'm going to be laughing and having a good time is different than their context, and they could tell that. So I said to myself, you know what, ultimately, even though it was a little awkward in the moment, and even the entire day, to be honest, was kind of awkward, because I mean, we had to go to lunch together, and just like, the conversation is it's on such a low level. It's just, um I'm thinking to myself, golly, if I lived in that place where I just live for Friday so that I can get drunk and sleep around, and then, clean myself up to act right Monday through Friday while I'm at work, just to, wash, rinse, repeat the cycle. My gosh, I would feel so empty, because I wouldn't feel like I was living with purpose, and I was making a difference in the world, and I was making a difference in terms of trying to better myself and be better for my family. Um, just a very low view of life, and not expecting greatness or anything above mediocrity. And I mean, is this all there is to it? That, we just teach Monday through Friday, and then we, you know, do whatever we want on the weekends, and don't make a difference, don't make a change, don't make anything better in life or in our personal self-development, and then we just do it all again the next week. I'm like, man, I don't want that. And when did that become what womanhood and femininity is all about? Motherhood. I mean, most of them, I think, are wives and mothers, or some of them are single, but they're, for the most part, younger than I am. They are probably in their 30s. And but I'm just thinking, since when do women just like curse like sailors? And they talk about, the conversations that they were having were the conversations that, you know, I guess back in the day would have been associated with, locker talk for men. And these women are having this conversation like it's nothing to them. You could tell this is just what they are, how they are on a regular. And I'm it's just like, that's, to me, cursing like that is not ladylike. That's not how I want to carry myself. That's not what I want to be known for. I can find ways to express myself, but they just drop F-bombs like it's like nothing. Nothing. And I mean, it's not even out of anger. That's just how they talk all the time. And it just made me wonder, you know, gosh, I know it's been a slippery slope with the whole feminist movement, and that's probably a controversial topic, but I think feminism has done more harm than good. Uh, and and being a woman, and being a strong woman, but walking in your femininity, and having that be respected, that when you're in a room, people know, like, clean up the language. That used to be a thing. You don't do certain things and talk certain ways around women and children. Like, where, I think to some extent, we still hold on to that when it comes to the kids, to some extent, because you could be in the store and hear parents cursing the kids out. So even that's kind of going by the wayside for the most part. We might be still hanging on to a little bit of a thread of that, but conducting yourself in a certain way around women, or women themselves conducting themselves a certain way, it is sad where we are now. Like, we've got to do better. And not even from a spiritual aspect, just from a self-respect. You know, we as women just have got to do better. That's not cute at all. And, at least it's not to me. To talk like, you are some trucker or something, it's not cute. And to just have your conversation be so just debased and low level, and it's like, I don't know. it's sad. It's sad. Um, and I hope that just as there was a revolution with, feminism and women coming out of the home, and that now being a position that's kind of frowned upon. If you are a homemaker, then a lot of women will look down on you. Like, what are you doing with your life? Aren't you building your career? And I absolutely think that that is like one of the most important jobs, but that's not the view of society for the most part. And it's sad, but I hope something happens and there's a shift somewhere where we can get back to what it means to be a woman and to be feminine, and to um, have a aspect of, I guess, not out cleanliness about you, if that's a way to think about it. I wouldn't say holiness, because I mean, these people, well, they say they're Catholic, but for the most part I would say they are just of the world. But um we should just be above just this very low level, sinful, worldly way of carrying ourselves. So those are the things that are running through my mind. I'm just like, geez, like, there's no distinction now between how women carry themselves and how men carry themselves. And not all men, obviously. But I guess when feminism feminism wanted everything equal for men and women, and there's no distinction. That's what we have. No distinction. Back in the day, like my mom talks to me about how you would never see a woman smoking. A woman would, I mean, she would not walk down the street with a cigarette. That was like disgraceful. But look at where we've come. Women just openly talk about getting high and drunk and sleeping around, and it's sad. It's sad. We got to do better. And if doing better and being different sets you apart and makes you isolated from those types of people, then I would say that that's okay. We don't have to be in the cool kids club. If that's what the cool kids club is, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't mind being recognized as being different, if that's the differentiation. That I don't do all that stuff. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I would like to see women get back to being women and being feminine and not rough around the edges. And I'd like to see women be different from men. There's nothing wrong with us being different. Now, I understand if you're doing the same job that a man is doing, you should receive the same pay, things like that. I get it. But just in how we do life and how we carry ourselves, we should be different. Softer, gentler. There should be a difference. So, some food for thought. Do you find that you are wanting to be different, carry yourselves differently, clean up your language, clean up your recreational activities, grow closer to the Lord, get into His Word? Do you find yourselves wanting that, and then also wanting what may come along with that as a result? Meaning, you're not going to be a part of certain groups. You're not going to be in the in crowd at work. There'll be certain friend groups that you don't feel comfortable around anymore. And are you okay with that? Let me know. I've decided I'm going to be okay with it. Really. Because at the end of the day, it's not cute. And it's not godly. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. A little bit different of a lunchtime lesson today, but I think women should be women. Let the men be men. All right, that's all I have for today, you guys. I will see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.